Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one rated sportsbook app out there. I am your host, Rudo, joined by AJ Haefele and Blais Hunter. I don't know why we're calling this a postgame show because the hockey game definitely didn't happen tonight. There was no hockey played, and we're just broadcasting super late for no apparent reason. No, obviously, the Avs 15-game point streak comes to an end in the fashion that many of us suspected that it might, in a complete blow-up of a hockey game.
We talked the other day, right, that when this ends, it's probably going to be because of a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of self-inflicted nonsense, a lot of silly errors that we just don't see from them very often.
Yep.
And when you look at tonight, I mean, that's combine that with terrible goaltending, and there you go.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to be on the other side of a blowout. It's not very fun. But yeah, like AJ just said, I mean, when the goaltender doesn't stop that first puck in the second and third period, and especially in that second period there with 4 shots on goal, I think, and 2 went in.
Shit, man. Be a good night. Jonas Johansson played 13 minutes of an NHL game tonight, and he stopped as many pucks today as I have.
It's just the reality of this hockey game is the Avs didn't have it from minute 1, and even in their best period, which was the second period, they made the critical mistakes, whether it be in goal or defensively, that ended up costing them the game. Yep. So it's not a good hockey game. There's no two ways around that, but it is also just one hockey game. And one that was bound to happen one way or another. Basically, my point is, don't freak out.
Yeah, and I mean, after a certain point, I think you got to the a certain level where it was just like, whatever. Like whenever they lose in regulation, however it looks, you're going to be bummed, you're going to be annoyed, you're going to get frustrated, but you're also going to be like, it is what it is. And honestly, when you start to reach 7, 8, 9 games in a winning streak or in a point streak, especially when you're winning the majority of them, it wasn't like this was a point streak buoyed by 5 overtime losses, right? They only lost 2 of those 15 games. So it was at the point where it was like it had reached the point where whenever it happened, you were just going to kind of shrug and be like, okay.
Yeah.
And tonight, that's my absolute reaction tonight. Like, they got their ass kicked, but there isn't a whole lot that they can really take from this that's meaningful. They were exhausted. They were going to have a bad day at work at one point. They did. To me, I'll go ahead. I know you've got.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, Gru's not a machine, right? He's gonna have off nights, and that was tonight. And unfortunately, it was compounded with just a lot of mistakes in front of him as well. Some really bad turnovers in high scoring places, and then some really bad timing on the penalties. Right, like the Wild scored a lot of points when we were short, or when the Avs were shorthanded. I mean,
they went 4 or 5 on the power play, man.
Yeah. That's a good night for the Wild. And I just felt like maybe, after those 3 goals in the first, it might have been time for Bednar just to kind of say, you know what, I think Gru needs a rest and put JoJo in and see what happens for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and I said this on Twitter. I would have completely understood had they decided to just pull the plug. And I can also completely understand not, being a competitor and saying, hey, we just, given what we did in the second period 2 days ago, hell, given what they did in the second period today, yeah. He was pretty justified in leaving Grubauer in net for that. It was just that Gruby didn't get any better, and the team in front of him did for certainly the entire second period. And then when things fell apart again at the start of the third, it was just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and then he decided to pull him. I mean, and again, in the second period there with Mac coming out, it was like a repeat of the last game. Just came out on fire and put that goal in, and it looked like they might claw their way back into it. But it was just, again, like a lot of untimely goals and penalties.
There's no such thing as a timely goal. It's not something that exists. All goals are bad, and all goals for you are good and come just in the nick of time. The word timely goals is or the phrase timely goals is one of those things that exists in hockey's lexicon that just makes no sense.
Oh, I disagree. I mean, a timely goal at the end of a period or the beginning of the period can set a tone, right?
But if you get that goal at 5 minutes into the third period, you're still really excited about that goal.
It's just not a timely goal.
especially if you don't give one up in between that, you know.
Yeah.
If they score at 6:13 of the third period, and now it's 5-4, you're still just as excited. You're right back into that.
Yeah, that's a timely goal.
all momentum and all that. Like I understand what like the point of it when we're talking about momentum, which is a very real thing. And the power of positive thinking, the power of the mindset.
Yeah.
Like it's really those are absolutely things that exist and have noticeable impacts on stuff. But but I don't even know what we're talking about anymore as it pertains to tonight's game. I see people in the chat are freaking out about something. So I don't know. This credit to Minnesota. I do want to say, I'm curious about your thoughts on this. Does it bother you? And I know that you have like all of your family from Minnesota, so all Wild games have like an extra level of salt for you.
Oh yeah.
But I would say, does it bother you that they got blown out by the Wild, or would you rather have gotten blown out by the Ducks?
No, I mean. Well,
do you care at all?
I don't really care that much. I mean, I care more of like the text messages that I'm going to get from my cousins and everything starting later tonight and then like in the morning. So those suck. But again, the Wild is a good hockey team right now, right? Like it's not like they're bad. The Avs had made them look that way. I mean, what was the season series? 5-2-1. So. I mean, the Avs kind of dominated the series, so you just kind of expect them to go in there and at least compete and get a point at least, and that just didn't happen tonight. The doors just got blown off.
Rudo, same question for you. Do you this streak coming to an end? Is it extra salt in the wound that it's Minnesota?
Not really. There's always, I think, that little extra fire maybe for the Avs to beat Minnesota, but it's going to come to an end to someone, and the odds of them making it all the way back around to Vegas at the end of the month was incredibly unlikely. So you weren't going to be particularly happy whether it was Minnesota, St. Louis, Arizona, LA, whoever.
Yeah, so I briefly touched on it in a conversation with somebody on Twitter tonight that it doesn't really bother me that it's Minnesota. And to be honest, I would rather, in terms of optics, I would rather them lose to a team that gives a shit, has something
solid,
has something to play for, is not in the garbage can, right? Like had this ended, had they beaten Minnesota tonight, and then this ended in 2 days in Anaheim, a team that has nothing to play for and is preparing to sell off as many of their players as possible in the next 5 days, I probably would have felt a little bit worse. I understand the rivalry between Colorado and Minnesota, but there's something about just losing to a team that cares where I'm just like, look, you just got beat. This is a team that has something to play for, and you just got beat.
And I mean, what happens, like if the Avs win tonight and you go into Anaheim and they say, all right, we're going to start JoJo, and you get a similar situation to where they get a bunch of goals.
That's different. I mean, any game you start with JoJo is a game where you almost don't care about the result.
Is it that? Or I'm saying if the streak is still going, do they consider making a move like they did last time with Miska and put Grubauer into a game instead of resting him to try and keep the streak? Which, for the record, I don't think they would or should do, and now it doesn't matter. It's just, I think in a lot of ways, this streak being over, a little bit of the pressure comes off. You don't have to run.
See, I think the longer the streak goes on, the less pressure they're playing with, because at that point you're just like, we've won all of our games for a month. This is so absurd. If we lose a game, we're gonna be frustrated by it, but we're just gonna kind of shrug and be like, okay, let's start a new streak.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But if they lose a game, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But at a certain point, if that streak keeps going, the conversation shifts to when does the streak end?
What happens if they go into Anaheim and they lose back to back?
Well, now that becomes the conversation, because then you don't want that. And the real question is do you want what do you do in net? Because obviously Grubauer just posted his 2 worst games. He had 2 back-to-back games where he was bad. I talked about it 2 nights ago. I didn't like his game against the Wild 2 days ago. I didn't like it tonight. That's not putting sole blame of every single goal on him. Jesus Christ. Can I please criticize a goaltender without that meaning that every single thing under the freaking sun is that guy's fault?
He's got to be gone at the trade deadline, right?
It's whatever, right? Grubauer was bad in both games. Do you start him on Anaheim against Anaheim in 2 days, or do you just give him the day off?
I'd give him the day off for sure. I mean, I'd not start him on Anaheim, rather, I should say, because
the thing is that he just it wasn't like this is only his 3rd start in a row. It's not like he's on some epic streak here. You know, he had 3 days off last week because they gave him that extra day on the St. Louis back-to-back where they started Johansson against Binnington and got away with it.
I mean,
so it's really not like he just.
So here's the thing, though, is I would just not care about this Anaheim game at all. After what we saw tonight, Vegas lost, so the Avs get away scot-free with this loss. It does not matter. They're the same position they were at the start of the night as far as the standings are concerned.
Yeah, just 1 game closer to
the end
everything.
Yeah. And I don't know what you guys talked about when we were gone, but it was obvious that the Avs defense, at very least, just had nothing left in the tank. I mean, they were just done.
Yeah, we didn't get too much into the fatigue stuff, so I guess we can do that in second period.
Sure. We can take our first period break right here and let you guys know about Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. Nothing like getting 8 goals dropped on your hockey team to make you want to drink. So go get yourself a Breck Brew. Check out their seltzers. Their 15-can sampler pack is absolutely delicious. And, of course, you can always head down to the DNVR bar to check it out and get some Breck Brew on tap. Excuse me. We are also brought to you by Strava Craft Coffee, the CBD-infused coffee that has really changed lives. It's been known to help migraines, aches and pains, joint pain, many other things as well.
Holy
so you can head
crap.
over there. Get 20% off on your first purchase with code DNVR20 and 25% off on your second purchase with code DNVR25. So both ways, great way to get it done. Good stuff there. Of course, also head on over to thednvr.com. Consider signing up for a subscription to help support us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're back on the main channel now. So if you're not subscribed to this one, be sure to do so. Liking helps us out as well. Click the notification bell to get notified every single time we go live. AJ, you're freaking out about something. Do we want to start the second period with this?
No, it's not. Arizona was up 3-1 on LA going into the third period, and I hadn't checked on it in a while, but now it's 4-3 LA.
Wow.
Nobody wants to win the 4th spot in this division, dude.
Yeah, definitely. I actually saw the Islanders trade when it happened, and I was like, the first tweet that I saw about it It was the one from Arthur Staple, who works for The Athletic and covers the Isles. And all it said was Palmieri and Zajac for a first. And I was like, shut up. That's it. I was like, that's the whole deal. And then I saw the Islanders official account tweeted out all the details. And I was like, this makes a lot more sense. But I'm sure we'll get into this tomorrow, but what a deal for the Isles.
Yeah.
Oh, tomorrow's our off day. We won't get into this tomorrow. We'll get into this on Friday on our special trade deadline live show that we're doing.
Indeed. Tomorrow.
Yes, that's happening.
Tomorrow, instead of a pod, y'all are getting double trade deadline videos, which the New Jersey one will now be completely out of date, but AJ will be celebrating from New York about it. And then you'll get our other targets as well.
Yep.
So,
yeah, it's funny because Zajac wasn't on our list. Palmieri was, but he was also like a guy where we were like, this doesn't really make sense for the Avs.
Yep.
But all the other New Jersey targets, and to be honest with you, especially after tonight, the New Jersey targets that we talk about make even more sense.
Yeah, definitely all this talk about backup goalie. You'll see. Anyway.
Just a quick side note here. Tampa Bay did not coast go balls to the wall all those years. The only year that they went like bananas was that one year where they
not
were like,
last year, but the year before.
Yeah, 2 years ago. But last year they had the slow start and then went balls out from about 30 games played to the rest of the year.
Yep.
Including the postseason and obviously the postseason was separated by like 3 months of off time for everybody. So
But yeah, to get to my crazy theory, I would go into this Anaheim game and I would just do it all. I call up Connor Timmins, sit Devon Taves for a game.
Did you see that move he tried to make
between the legs almost scored it.
Yeah. I saw they put out the highlight of that, and I was like, I can't wait to watch this tonight after the Avs game is over to go back and be like, what did you do? How did this situation come about where Connor Timmins is trying to make that move right in front of the net?
Like, right. I would call him up. I'd play Dan Renouf.
Dude, 7 shots on goal last night. How good was Connor Timmins last night, too?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
2 goals, right?
Not
2
bad.
Timmins
that was
had
the 2 assists.
Cal had the goals, right?
He had the goals last night.
I'd sit forwards. I'd play like the top 6, like 15 minutes apiece in the next game against Anaheim. I just don't care about the result of this game. 100% recuperation game.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, if go ahead.
It was obvious the other night when they squeaked it out against Minnesota that this team was gassed, and it was just even worse.
It was at the end of the fuse.
Yep.
So they're already not practicing. What I will say though is that they can't. In my opinion, they can't start dicking around with this quite yet. If you want to, on the fringes of your roster, like move in a Liam O'Brien, move out Liam O'Brien or JT Compher for a night. Maybe even a Belmar for a night, a Burrows or a McDonald, and you want to do it on the fringes, I'd be okay with that. But until they clinch a postseason spot and start to actually get into the final 10-ish games of the season, I don't think that should be a conversation that we really start to have yet. Because one, seeding is still going to matter. Your regular season points are still going to matter. That's going to determine in the Final Four where you go. It's too important that you can't just be like, screw it. We're just not messing with these games.
I understand the reality there of you're not going to sit a giant portion of your roster, but the Avs have to find a way to play a competitive hockey game and not play Devon Taves 27 plus minutes in it.
Well, and this getting your ass kicked is a pretty good reason to sit guys. And I haven't looked at the exact spread, but with about 5 minutes left, it was more or less what I wanted to see.
It was, when it got out of hand, they really toned
Devon
it down.
Taves, just 20 minutes.
Belmar only skated 7.5.
Makar 25, Graves 16, McDonald 14, Gerard just under 20, and Burrows at 14. So that's a lot more of the kind of spread that I would honestly prefer, like against Anaheim.
Yeah, you got to be able to do that in a game that isn't a blowout, I think, is the key.
Can we bring that comment back up from JVH about the daughter?
Yeah. Learning the correct ways, teaching them right.
Can we get a video of that?
Oh, that would be
that
sick.
way Rudo can use it in his breakdown video every time the Wild score.
Yes, please.
Oh no! So much better than playing the 8 Wild goal clips.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of showing the goal, just that video. Just cut to it real quick. Oh no, and you just know what it means.
Amazing. Oh, that's so amazing. All right. So this is where I struggle to take anything significant from this game, is because you knew they were tired. Yeah, obviously, a bunch of mental mistakes, a bunch of awful defense, a bunch of poor goaltending to improve, but
just ban that guy. Bye. Easy. I said, girl, bye. You got what you want. We got what we wanted.
Take him down.
Honestly, I do love when opposing fans keep me employed and keep helping me make sure that I'm cashing checks every 2 weeks. So you can tell me all day long how much I don't know about anything. The fact that I'm employed covering hockey every day and you're in my YouTube comment section says all it needs to say about our stations in life. So we'll see you in 5 minutes.
Hey, look, and if you're an opposing fan and you want to have a real chat about hockey, we're
always
happy
welcome.
to do it.
Yeah.
We got very friendly with our Stars fans.
Yep.
In the postseason last year. So
it's just it's part of the gig. But if you got nothing interesting to say, later, nerd. Anyway, what should we pull some positives out of this? Nathan MacKinnon now on a 4-game goal scoring streak, 5 goals in that time.
So another 2 points tonight. He's like, you know, we talked about how he was out of the Hart Trophy conversation and all that because the award had just gotten out of hand.
Because
this year,
McDavid and Matthews and Draisaitl are doing stupid stuff in the North. Yeah,
yeah. And I will tell you, I don't think this has been updated in the league wide yet, but MacKinnon, is he up to 15 goals this year now?
Yep. 15 goals, 6th in the league in points, could easily catch Marner and Matthews.
Okay, so they did update it then. So he's at 47 then, and he's basically caught like the pack with obviously the 2 Edmonton guys are out in front.
Yeah, they're on the moon.
Yeah. So, and it would be interesting to see, like, if McDavid slows down enough where Draisaitl can catch him, and they're pretty even at the end of the year. And let's say the Avs just go on to win the President's Trophy, and MacKinnon let's put him, where is he right now? Jesus. Let's put him like 8 to 10 points back of McDavid and Draisaitl, and they win the President's Trophy, and Edmonton finishes like 3rd in the North. Do you think that there's an extra like bump for best player on the best team there? Do you think he gets that extra consideration? Because I think the way that he has gone off, like he was right around a point per game, right? Like really close to a point per game, and then separated. And with the way that they just reallocated all of the voters to ensure that the North Division is not full of it's not overly represented in the voting block this year. I just wonder. I wonder if that's the path.
Does he get a bump? Maybe. Is it enough to catch McDavid? Unless the Oilers like drop out of the playoffs or he gets hurt or something. I don't think so, because McDavid is putting dudes on posters every single night, and even if the defense sucks in that league, it's just the dude is unbelievable.
Well, it's not so like some things that have developed this year. the Canadian media won't play a huge role here because they just changed the voter block this week. Only 20 voters from the North Division.
Yep.
So it's 20 voters
to even it out a little bit.
Yeah, it's 20. So it's 20 voters from all 4 divisions, and then 20 additional voters. So there's only 100 of them.
Yep.
So Canada won't be overly represented, and the East Coast won't be overly represented. But I don't know. This is a weird night to talk about this, I guess.
A little bit. But, it's MacKinnon was one of the positives in tonight's game. So
yeah, and like he's put himself back into that. And what's fascinating is that the only guy in the top 10 that doesn't really have like a running mate is Patrick Kane.
Yep, he's
everybody else has a
on his
teammate
own.
that's right here.
Is he in third position right now?
Yeah. He's at 51, so it's slowing down and they're catching him.
And he doesn't have much help around him.
Very evenly distributed his assists to DeBrincat and Kubalik. So.
Yeah. Well, and like they're not. For the record, DD saying don't put yourself through this again. For the record, I don't care about awards. MacKinnon not winning, it sucks. It sucks that he got twice, but he got second twice. Like, that's a bummer for him. But there's one award that I know he cares about, and there's one award that I care about, and
it's not
it has nothing to do with the regular season.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's that. Mikko also got a goal tonight. Matthews has picked up his pace again, but he's keeping up with the pack, as you put it.
Mikko looked a little frustrated out there.
Oh, is Mikko not like every single Avs fan tonight at the end of this game where he crushes a dude in the back and just goes straight to the box? Just like, okay.
I love that, like, the whistle had barely blown and he was like, let me in. he looked like that Eric Andre meme where he's on the outside like, let me in.
Every player's done that, like, where they're like, yeah, I'm just going to take a penalty right now and just go do it and then just skate directly to the box, even before the whistle is blown. Just like, I'm just going to get in here and serve it, but that felt good.
Yeah, Mikko definitely a little bit of all of us on that one for sure.
You're gonna have to come up. I don't think he broke a stick tonight though.
He was banging it around in the box there. I don't know.
I wonder if
we might have to get a counter.
Like, I wonder how hard he was trying, or he was just like, come on, let's break this thing.
If it breaks, it breaks.
He's Ivan Drago.
Yeah,
twist sticks. That's what he should be writing on the stick.
Yeah,
if you break, you break.
That's right.
Oh, that's good. Despite the penalty kill coming way back down to earth, the power play did get 2 goals tonight, so we can kind of talk about both of those, I'm sure.
That's all good and well. But I will tell you, the PK, what is everybody's favorite saying about the PK? Your goaltender has to be your best PK.
Yeah.
If your goaltender's not your best penalty killer, it doesn't really matter what you're doing in front of them.
Yep.
And I don't think that Philip Grubauer was any good tonight.
Nope.
People are concocting reasons why goals were excused and this and that. But look, 2 things can be true at the same time. And I think that Grubauer playing like shit is absolutely a thing that was true tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. One of those was like center bar in. And
the
then
second
like
Kaprizov goal was like in the middle of the net. And I'm like, what the cool part of that goal was that he shot it through Nichushkin's legs.
Grubauer didn't track the pass across at all.
Well, and then look at the third Fiala goal where he doesn't even move.
I mean, that was the third Fiala goal was.
Oh, is that the Johansson one?
Yeah.
Oh, that was like the goofy tip between his legs,
but still, on the Wild power play, 3 of those goals came from above basically the circles too. So that's
the circles area.
Yeah.
The first Fiala goal was the one that I was like, he doesn't have it. This is bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
That goal was problematic because the Kaprizov one, backdoor, that's an empty net. That's you're not on Grubauer on that. The next one is the Makar 2-on-1 Did he get knocked down by Parise? Whatever.
Yeah.
And that just somebody named Luke Johnson just like beats him cleanly.
Yep.
And then Kevin Fiala, like from way out there, not good again.
Just didn't track the puck at all.
The Ryan Hartman, like, yeah, that's a straight up pizza that gets thrown by Devon Taves to Ryan Hartman.
Yes. Oh,
but
yeah.
Also, like, Ryan Hartman just beat you super cleanly. Like, that's not a particularly special shot.
McDonald went for Hartman too there. Ooh, that was kind of nasty.
Screw
that
your
up high
fans.
penalty.
You don't get to play victim when you start out by saying screw your fans.
Yeah, that's not a I don't know what to tell you, but
we've had a lot of opposing fans roll in here and talk hockey with us, and it's totally fine. But when you say screw your fans, like guess what, dog? Like, at this point, like, you're paying us to ban you. This is the weirdest thing. And, like, nobody has to even put jorts on for this. We get to just take the money and be like, donk, you're gone.
Look, if you have hockey to talk, let's talk hockey. But the two comments I've seen from you are, you guys know nothing about hockey and screw your fans.
Yeah. So, I don't know what was happening before the show started. I didn't see any of that, but okay. We will. Like I said, dude. I continue to be employed, and I will continue to enjoy cashing my paychecks. So, screw your fans, indeed.
All right.
So, this is the equivalent of Ryan Hartman pushing Jacob McDonald at the end of the game. Cool point that you just made, fella.
That was just payback.
So,
is that suspendable? What do you guys think of the hit? Jacob McDonald on Ryan Hartman.
Oh yeah, that's 100%. Like he went up. He went
okay.
up.
So I've watched it 4,000 times. I genuinely think that it's shoulder on shoulder. But one, it's a blindside hit no matter what. And the NHL is super not about blindside hits.
I think the initial point of contact might be shoulder, but he catches a lot of head. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what the initial point of contact is. If you catch head, you can't be doing that. Full stop. And if you're trying to catch some head,
I was going to say, this is too obviously leading into it, dude. Like, come on.
No.
He did, and then before that, earlier in the game,
I'll block you. I'll take you out.
Before that, earlier in the game, there was the hit on MacKinnon's head as well that goes uncalled.
Is that so? Should they look at that too?
Yeah,
because I thought both hits are something that the league should be looking at.
McDonald's was more egregious on the blindsidiness, but MacKinnon gets blindsided as well.
Well,
which is crazy that they didn't.
The McDonald hit on Hartman is like a classic blindside hit to the head that you are trying to get out of the game, and us like splitting the atom and being like, "Where's the camera angle where we see if it's shoulder or head?" is like.
Does it even matter? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, dude, this is if Tom Wilson makes that hit, how do we feel about it? Because I feel like we're like
6-game suspension.
It's predatory. He's a piece of shit. You got to get him out of the league, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But Tom Wilson doesn't make that hit, and so we're like, where was the camera angle on it? You know, like I don't know. I think he's probably earned himself a game.
Yeah. McDonald, I mean, he launched himself upwards too. Like if you watch it, like you can tell, like even if he was going for shoulder, he's going for a high shot, which is something you shouldn't be doing right there anyways. Like
everything that you see in a suspension breakdown video that he did wrong.
As the video
the only point of contention is, was it head contact first or was it shoulder contact first? But I think I watched it more and more and came to the conclusion that it was shoulder on shoulder. And that I also think it's probably suspendable for a game.
Yeah.
It is what
It's
it
crazy
is.
that they didn't call that one on Mac either, because the whistles that were going on in the first period were just it was awful.
What do you mean the
It's
first
like,
period, man?
Yeah, it's the whole game.
Those
dude.
guys,
the whole
that
game,
was a
but
2-game
especially the
series
first.
where Steve Kazari was just like, "It's my time, fam. Here I go. I'm on TV all lots."
The bench was the bench minor for changing on the icing. That one's a great one too. You don't hear that one very often at all.
Yeah, I've never seen that penalty before, actually.
Dude,
Well, usually because there's a ref or
Yeah.
a linesman there, like not allowing them to change or telling them to get
Yeah,
back
and
on the
They
they're
just
ice.
come
like-
over and they're like, all right, this guy was on the ice,
Yeah.
put him back on.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's one of my favorite things in the game is to watch teams try and cheat icing and
Yeah.
watch linesmen like point and like pull guys out of there like they're playing fucking Red Rover. It's so funny every single night to watch especially when you're in the arena, because you don't always see it on camera, but you'll see linesmen like go over and like pull guys out of the bench on icing calls that they're trying to sneak off, and it's hilarious. And for some reason they were just like, no.
I wonder if the bench just said something and it was just like, I'm done. You guys are taking a penalty for this one.
Or like if there really was like an explicit warning where they were like, if you do this shit again, we're calling a penalty on you.
Yeah.
And it's like that. It's like the kicking the guy out of the face-off. Like at some point, something so egregious happened that they've been warned about it, and they were just like, "I'm over it. Get out."
Yeah. But it was weird though too, because like Bednar called him over to talk to him about the call.
Yeah, he
too.
was not happy with the call,
Yeah.
obviously. But it was weird. It was definitely weird nonsense.
It fit in this game. So
Just kill a freaking penalty, guys.
So if you are trying to get off the bench and you are trying to screw your fans, first of all, get consent and make sure that they're of age. Because
Big consent fans here.
They definitely do that. But also, look, your fans expect you to look good, all right? No matter what you're doing. So make sure you get manscaped before you head to the bedroom and make it look good for them. You know that's what they want, so jump on in on it. Get 20% off when you use code DNVR at manscaped.com. Get the perfect package 3.0 and make sure you are totally taken care of. Even if it's above the belt, they can take care of your beard. They can take care of everything for you. So
can I just say that this read has made me want to call it the perfect package 3.0. like the idea that I'm on like my third iteration of junk in my life, and this is the perfect one. like tell my fiance, be like, look, I perfected it. Like it's a recipe.
the 3.0 is because you're a tripod now? Is that what?
Yeah, that's right.
God.
Manscaped.com. Again, use code DNVR to get 20% off and free shipping to get the right tools for the job. We are also brought to all of you wonderful people by MSU Denver Online. You can get back to school your way as MSU Denver brings you everything you need to get back there and just live your life. They have teachers that come from the industry, top to bottom, and you can use them as networking connections as well as the teachers in your classes. Plus, they'll teach you skills that, might actually be relevant to the real world. So that's great as well. Check them out today. You can register for summer classes right now with MSU Denver Online. Also brought to all of you by DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 rated sportsbook app out there. If you want to bet on pretty much anything under the sun, you can do so over at DraftKings. Right now, you can bet $1 to win $100 on any golfer at the Masters to finish in the top 10. Still do it today. Get it in before it's too late. Bet
I
on
was gonna make it a Masters bet.
Who are you liking? Or are you going to bet something ridiculous?
The guy that's I can't think of his stupid name right now.
Describe him.
He's the guy that there was a video of Vijay Singh watching him
Oh, with
Just
the
hit the ball
crazy
right.
drive.
Yeah, the one
like he's torquing his whole body.
Yeah, it's super, super violent. Where you're like, come age 30, that guy's gonna be in trouble.
That guy's back is gone.
Yeah, like that guy's like he's gonna need like a spinal fusion when he's like 31. I can't think of his stupid name. It's a name that
Chamba?
that's it. It's one that I always think about. It's a name that I think of, and I think I should drink some tea immediately after saying this.
Dude, nah, look at this guy. This guy 100% manscapes, all right? There's no doubt about it in my mind. He's also ripped as hell, but
yeah.
In any case, DraftKings Sportsbook, head on over there. Use code DNVR to let them know that we sent you and get your one for $100. You can bet on DeChambeau. You can bet on anyone else that you actually feel good about. I haven't actually checked the scores for today. I don't know who's in good position, but don't bet on Tiger Woods because he's not playing.
Yeah. Well, it's Wednesday.
Starts tomorrow.
Oh, why did I think it was Thursday? I don't know.
Yeah. Dude, I completely forgot we are doing a show tomorrow. So I've already X'd Thursday in my schedule.
We've been all over the place for real.
It's been so Bruno, you mentioned this on Twitter tonight, and I actually do want to talk more about this because you said, look, even for us, even for us
that just cover the team,
covering the team, this has been exhausting. And I can't imagine what it's been like for them. I can't imagine what it's been like for these guys to every other day, sometimes 4 out of 6 days, have to go out there and play a professional hockey game.
Yeah. Yep. Think about the travel that's involved too. Like they're going to get on a plane tonight and fly to Anaheim.
They're actually not. They are because they're not practicing tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
They are flying in like tomorrow afternoon into Anaheim. Also, low-key, they hate Anaheim, so they don't want to be there.
I legitimately don't know the last time they had a proper practice. I couldn't.
It was recently. They had an actual scheduled one that was not optional.
And that's like the last one in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been in the last week, but that's it. Yeah. It's either optional or day like. So tomorrow, nothing. There's nothing. They're traveling, right? Yeah. When they flew to Minnesota on Sunday, I think it was, nothing. There was no skate before then, and that's how it usually is that they will give us 20 minutes to watch them tool around on the ice, get the blood pumping, and then all of them grab their bags and go to the airport.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this was their 10th game in the last 17 days. So that's a lot of hockey.
Well, and I saw Gibbles tweet out something that he went all the way back to the Tahoe game,
and it was like number of games.
Well, it was like 21 games in 40 days, and it's like, dude,
that's insanity.
Well, and you think it's 6 weeks, and they are only partway through that.
Yeah, they still have another month.
They have a full calendar month. They have 4 more weeks of the regular season to go.
Yep.
So they've got some. This is going to be something that they have to manage. Also, the other teams also have to do this.
Yeah, every team's going through it for sure. It's not like the Avs have been shafted by this. It's just the reality of every NHL hockey team.
Can we chill out on the chat cannibalism? Zach O'Donnell's one of our guys. He's good. if he's uncomfortable with what we had to say, he's free to DM me afterwards and we can chat about it. But we don't have to go after him. It's okay. Zach O'Donnell's one of our guys. You guys are more alike than you're different. Just be friends.
Chat. The internet. It's never going to change. It'll always be the same with chat. Doesn't matter what platform you're on.
It's true. It doesn't. It's been the same since IRC.
Yep.
I only use IRC because that's when I started.
IRC was like a touch before my time. Like it was still a thing right around when
it had to be like phasing out.
Yeah. But it's still barely there. Anyway, Avalanche hockey things. I wipe this from your memory. Men in Black style. This game no longer exists, and just move on with your life. Yeah.
You know, that is one of the coolest ideas for a movie. I wish we could just do that. I wish there were certain things that I could just push a little button. It's just gone.
Yeah, but how quickly do you end up like the movie Memento, though? And then you just wake up every day.
Yeah, there's a downside there. I was so convinced for so many years that was Val Kilmer in that movie.
Why? He's too skinny.
Okay, whatever. But he just looked so much like him.
I see the resemblance for sure, but he's just way too skinny.
Well, and I still can't remember that guy's damn name. Guy Pearce looks so different in that movie than so many of his other movies that I'm just Okay.
We're into random fact territory. There's
been a lot I'm looking at it right now. He still looks like Val Kilmer.
Except for Kitty, yeah.
He still does. I'm sorry. That movie's amazing, by the way. I got my gummies from Green Roads, also one of our great sponsors.
Yep. They're awesome.
They're the relax gummies though, not the sleep gummies. Also, I don't eat those very often, and I almost never do it for a show.
I only ever see him do it when he has a migraine, to be honest. Which they're great for. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, Brecton. Everything's chill. Yeah, I think everybody's chilling. I think.
Yeah. Look, if they lose 2 in a row and they lose to Anaheim, there's going to be a lot different attitude overall.
Yeah.
You're still playing for a division. You've still got a lot of things at stake here.
I still think they have. Yeah, I still think that they have to start JoJo on this next one. Just like AJ, like you said, it wasn't just one bad game from Gru. It's been building those last 2 games. So sit him, let him kind of just recalculate and see what you get with Johansson.
Alternate theory, he plays both of those games, and then he gets Monday off on the deadline day. And JoJo plays his last game as an F. Just likely.
Yeah.
When is the deadline day game? What time?
7. It's a home game.
How fast does a private jet fly?
Probably as fast as public jets, I would imagine.
I'm saying, can you get a goalie there before 7 p.m.?
Well, they would have to make the deal earlier, and then it would have to be somebody that they don't have to go through quarantine.
Right. It would. Yeah. There'd be a lot of factors there for sure. But.
Yeah.
The smaller ones go a little bit slower. Just saying.
No.
You can direct all of your special
Absolutely not.
audio photos. There's a great website that you can
start to scroll down and you get to the V and then you're just I'm out.
Great website that you can post them on. If you I shouldn't say this on
Dude, it would be awesome if they had the X-Jet. I love that idea.
The X-Jet.
Yeah. That'd be so cool. Charles Xavier's not using it right now, so just give the X-Jet to go wherever they're gonna make a deal. We should figure out what's Carolina's schedule. What are they up to on Sunday and Monday? How easy would it be able to get James Reimer into town?
Just drop in. What's up? How far? I'm not a superhero buff. I don't pretend to be. How far can Nightcrawler actually teleport somebody?
Not that far.
Yeah.
I thought it's visible, right?
You'd have to do it in pieces, but he does it so quickly that you could probably just be okay.
Yeah. If you really want my email chat, it's you can send it to rudosc2@gmail.com and it'll go right into my spam folder. So thanks. If you have actual things you want to talk to me about, DM me on Twitter. Anyway, Do we even have final thoughts for tonight for this game? I mean, there's really not much to it.
Credit to Minnesota for giving the Avs an absolute thrashing, an ass kicking that had been building for a little while, as Colorado has been playing at too high of a frequency. They were going to have a letdown game eventually. The final game of the season series, after everything has been decided, fine. Like, the Avs could have probably put that race away and been up 10 points, but when you win 13 of, you miss 2 points in 15 games.
Yep.
Like, it's really easy to look at the game on the schedule and be like, well, on any given night.
Hey, Meeks, come at me. I was high masters, bud. None of this Bronze League nonsense.
Yeah, but he also watched you when we streamed SC. He knows.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, the fucking co-op thing. That's I'm bad at that. I'm awful at actual StarCraft. I'm okay.
He knows. He knows that the rust is there. We should actually play some of that tonight. I got the new mouse pad tonight, so I can actually use my mouse again.
Ooh, nice. Anyway, yeah. Look. I'm not too worried about a missed opportunity here. The Avs won the season series.
If you view every loss as a missed opportunity, there are a lot of missed opportunities every year for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
I mean, who has the least amount of losses, regulation losses in the league? Even I don't even.
Dude, I bet it's either Tampa Bay or maybe Vegas.
Florida.
9.
Florida just keeps surprising.
Florida, I think it is.
It's Carolina and Colorado both have 9
wow.
regulation losses.
Wow.
And that's the best. Everyone else has at least 10. So, yeah, Avs are doing just fine. Anyway, we're going to get out of here for the evening. We appreciate all of y'all. What?
Sorry.
Did you, stub your toe or something?
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
I feel like that sums up this hockey game, is that right there. The Avs stubbed their toe. They'll be fine in 20 minutes, but, we'll see them again in their next game. Thank you, everyone in chat. Be sure to like and subscribe to the video. Again, be sure to head on over to our main YouTube channel if you're not over there, since it's fixed now, that's where everything's going to be going for the foreseeable future. Just hit 10K subs. We should thank all of you for that. Wouldn't have made it without you.
Yeah.
We probably would have done it without the Minnesota guy, but it's okay. We're still accepting of your presence.
Hope you all have a wonderful night, and I guess we're off tomorrow. You can get the 2 videos tomorrow.
Just a reminder, we are off tomorrow. No afternoon video. We are doing 2 shows on Friday. We're doing a 1 p.m. special trade deadline show, and then we are doing the post-game pod after the Anaheim game.
Yep. So double duty Friday.
So keep that on your schedules. We have 2 shows on Friday, an afternoon and a night show.
Hope to see you there. Until then, have a wonderful night.